Hi guys, and welcome to another kit review. Alright, so today we're having a look at a kit from, I'm not sure if you can see it, down here in the bottom, RPM of Poland. The kit number is 35012. It is in 1/35 scale, and it is there, and I'm going to pronounce this completely wrong, so apologies to my Polish friends. Samochod Pancerny Ford TFC. So as you can see, it is a Polish armoured car built on a Model T Ford chassis. Okay, these vehicles were used in the Polish-Soviet War, Polish-Ukrainian War, I think it was also called, of the early 1920s, so post-World War I. As you can see by the colour scheme, it is typical World War I, post-World War I camo. Okay, beautiful artwork, right? Showing two of the armoured cars. This one's named Ossa, under fire, and they've just driven past what looks to be a Russian tank. Okay, so these cars were used for communication duties, for reconnaissance duties, for intercepting Russian forces that were threatening other areas and towns, etc. They were quite nimble, and the Poles did actually think this was a really good armoured car for its time. They came out of a need for armoured cars. The Russians had captured a lot of the Polish armoured cars and vehicles prior to this, so the Poles took some old Model T chassis, improved them, strengthened them, mounted German armoured plate on them, and built their own armoured cars. Okay, so that's the box. This is actually the second one of these that I bought. This particular model, 35012, came out in 2009. The earlier one that I bought, which I still have the artwork for, because I do love the artwork, exactly the same, slightly changed box, slightly changed name. This one it says it's Ford TC, this one says it's a Ford TFC. It was also called a TFB. It had various designations. The earlier kit came out in 2000 and was fairly easy to construct, although it did have some issues. Anyway, we'll see if this one's a change. The biggest difference I've seen on this one is this is the construction. This is the assembly. It's on the back of the box. Okay, I'll show you these. These are the original assembly instructions from the first kit that I bought. It would be year and a half ago. It is fairly basic, very basic construction steps. Left a lot to be desired. These look to be, and I'll give you a close-up of this anyway, much more comprehensive assembly instructions. Okay, so that's the front of the box and the back of the box. Let's have a look at the sides. Just a repeat of the details, usual warnings. It does say $16.99 Australian. I paid $15 for this one. I saw it online and I thought, you know, I could do with another one of those. And on the other side, you've got another 4 kits from RPM. This is a Ford, Model T Ford again. And again, the different modifications, transport, okay, command, FT17s, okay, and a modified FT17. Right, plus the decals that you get in the kit. All right, so that's the box. Really nice artwork. I do love that, which is what attracted me in the first place. Okay, so let's have a look and see what's inside. And opening box. 1 bag of sprues. No written instructions. So assembly is what you see on the back. And that's it. Very small, not much to it. Decals are inside, and in a second we'll have a look inside and see what I got. So as I said, those are your assembly instructions. There are no paint callouts and no painting guide, just what's on the front of the box. Okay, so that's where you're going to have to use your internet references for this one. Alright, so fairly easy paint job, and there is actually a replica of one of these running around in Poland from what I know. Anyway, let's get rid of the box, and in a second we will have a look at the sprues. So let's have a look at what we got in the bag. First up, we'll have a look at the decals. Okay, there you have it. I hope that's in focus. Okay, so you do have 4 names for the vehicle. As you can see, white and red Polish badge for the side and for the back, and vehicle numbers for known vehicles. Okay, so in the earlier kit that I made, you actually got individual numbers. In this kit, these are not individual numbers, they are actual vehicle numbers. Okay, so give you a shot at that. And the next thing we'll look at will be these two, exactly the same. Okay, so we'll put one of these aside, and as you can see, this is the wheels. All right, so it's not separate tires. It's a fairly basic kit. Okay, that is your engine, exhaust pipe, and various chassis parts. These are your mounts for the wheels, and I will actually show you on the instructions what I actually mean. So there's your chassis, and those parts are that. Okay, they are separate, and they actually attach to the axles and suspension. Alright, so detail wise, there is a tread, basic tread on the tires. Okay, not much else detail. As I said, this is your exhaust, etc. for the vehicle, and steering. It is very, very basic. A little bit of detail, some bolt details, etc., which is quite nice. Okay, can be a bit heavy, and there is a bit of flash on this model. Okay, as you can see by the tires, etc., there's a bit of flash, just a bit of mold line, bit of excess. Okay, especially the longer parts, so a bit of cleanup on these, but it does create quite a nice little car. Alright, so as I said, there's not much to it. There's 3 sprues. So there's 2 with the wheels on, and this one, which is the vehicle itself, so to speak. Okay, so this is the sides, this is your radiator, this is the top of the turret, these are the sides of the engine, this is the top. Okay, so that is the base of the turret, and as you can see, it's made up of numerous parts. All right, so it will take a bit to put this together. I do remember putting the other one together and finding that because there are no locating pins on the turret, etc., you have to be very careful, because once you glue it, and if you accidentally push it too hard, it's going to be out of shape and you have to rip the thing apart again. So it does have separate hinges, which will need a little bit of work to bend them over. These are the hinges for the bonnet and the engine compartment, so they do need a little bit of work, but overall it is not a bad little vehicle. Okay, so that's literally it. There isn't much to it. It does come out to be quite a nice looking little car. And as I said, if you can pick one of these up quite cheap, it's an unusual subject. Something that's never covered is the minor wars. This one, the Polish-Soviet War, etc., that occurred between 1914-18 war and the 1939-45 war. There was a lot of modifications, changes, etc., to armoured cars and tanks, and a huge scope for model makers for brand new models. So hopefully at some stage we'll see a lot more interwar vehicles turning up. Anyway guys, that's the end of this review. As usual, I hope you did get something from it. I'm actually looking forward to building this one, and now that I've built one, having two on the shelf side by side just adds to it. Okay, anyway, as usual, that is it for this one. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take it easy, and I'll see you later.